Hey guys, what's up? Jared here, Dex and Dice, Ramblings of an LGS owner. Just kind of wanted to do a quick little video because I watched a video this morning and it was good old Uncle Frank, just talking about the hobby in general. Left a comment on his video talking about like how a lot of people seem to want to enjoy the hobby. They don't understand what actually entails, I guess, like this side of the hobby. Um, and which is why a lot of people, when they get into the hobby, they only last maybe 1 or 2 years when they actually start doing it like on this side, you know? It takes a very special kind of person to be able to endure the mind numbing little things that you have to do constantly, the mind numbing work that this actually is, and just the actual work that this is, like I mentioned in my other video the other day. Um, so like I kind of want to give you some like pitfalls of just normal everyday crap that you have to deal with on this side, that if you've been here for longer than 3 or 4 years or have been doing this like I have been doing it for longer, or just as a person, selling shit, it just becomes like second nature. It's like, oh, it is what it is. That's normal. You don't talk about it because it's like breathing, it just happens. Um, so I guess the biggest thing that a lot of people don't fully understand. They may have like an idea, they might grasp the concept of selling on this end. Unless you have like a brick and mortar like I do and you can actually do a lot of in-person stuff, most of you will be selling online via TCG Player or Mana Pool or doing eBay, whatever. You're probably going to start out that route. The thing that you guys, like I said, you understand but don't think you quite fully grasp is, like everyone else has said, from like Rob to Mason to probably even Uncle Frank there, and I'm just going to reiterate it because it needs to be reiterated, is fees. The fees and the hidden fees that are also part of doing this. Like, for example, yesterday we sold I think it was like a Dark Magician Girl Ghost Rare or something on TCG Player. It's like I think almost a $300 card. I think we listed it for 285, give or take, whatever. Anyways, point being, we listed it for 285. It sold for 285. Now, in order to get that card, we did a, trade credit. We usually give 60%, which is, believe it or not, fairly standard. I just heard some of you be like, well, my LGS gives me 80. Well, good for you, fucking unicorn scenario, great. Anyways, continuing. So we gave about 60%, which means we gave like 170, 171 on the card store credit. Instantaneously used the same day, they got what they wanted, all that good stuff, so now we are here recouping as quick as we can. So, with that in mind, after you do the math there, 171 from 285 is like 114. Yes, I have done the math before this video. I did a little bit of preparation. So, you potentially profit 114 there, right? Like, woo, yay. Okay, no. So, right off the dick, TCG Player takes their fees, and in this particular instance, since we are pro, we have the website, our fees are slightly higher than normal, but anyways, TCG took away $41 in fees. Okay? So, boom. $41 right there, gone out of my little profit margin. Leaves me with, we'll say profit margin. Leaves me with $73. It took $10 to ship it from here to California because it was over the threshold to require signature, like a signature upon receiving and stuff. That's an extra $4 tapped onto the already like $5 it is to ship something from one coast to the other. So it was about $10 in shipping fees for a single fucking card and a bubble mailer, you know, maybe 3 fucking ounces, give or take. So, anyways, that leaves me with $63. You go from 114 potential profit to $63. And if you aren't prepared or are used to that, it sounds like I'm griping. I mean, I kind of am, but like it's the breathing thing. It's normal. This is just what happens. So like after you have done this 36,000 times, it's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, it's fucking normal. How much did I actually make off of this card?" It was $63. It's better than nothing. It's better than it sitting in my shop and collecting dust. It's arguably, like I said, just better than nothing, okay? I could have maybe sold it in the shop, but it might have taken 3, 4, 6, 8, weeks to sell, 90 days to sell, or whatever. So instead of letting it sit here, we just threw it online because it's a high value card and we knew it would move quicker and we would be able to make our stuff back quicker, because it's a churn and burn thing, man. Whether you like that or not, that's the way it is. But you're left with $63 at the end of the day. And that's just blanket shit, $63. That's not accounting for, you having to buy, in this particular instance, you having to buy like bubble mailers, you having to buy um, the thermal labels, the thermal printer, ink for a normal printer, your time and effort just to fucking list it and then to have it packed and shipped out, having to go to the uh, post office, that's the word I'm looking for, to like drop it off and everything. Like there's a whole bunch of stupid little things involved in just selling even a single card. If this was the only thing that I had sold that day or whatever, like, there's a whole bunch of little stupid things that happen that are a part of the process that individually aren't so bad, but unless you have the particular like mindset and just, I don't know, ambition or whatever to make this kind of work, this stupid little stuff, seeing what you have, because like, okay, out of the $63, once you take everything out of it, it might dwindle down to like $55 or something, and like an actual realized profit, like, good, I made $55, Enough times of that happening, I believe that normal people see this and they're just kind of like, man, this really isn't what I thought it was. A lot of people think it's literally just get card, list card, profit. And from a bird's eye view, like generalized speaking, that is the flow. But there's a whole bunch of stupid little things in there that lead to a bunch of people realizing that doing this professionally as a business or whatever might not be for them because it requires such a time sink as far as like just trying to find your inventory. If you're not brick and mortar where people luckily come to you or you just buy from distro or whatever, finding your supply, wheeling and dealing with people to get better prices on stuff if you're trying to do stuff secondary market or whatever, again, a whole myriad of little things that we don't normally bring up because it's just secondary nature to us, because it is what it is. It's the cost of doing business. And to quote Rob there, it's the cost of doing business. I mean, it is. It's the way it is. But a lot of people don't have the fortitude to actually persevere with that, to be like, damn, I did all that work. I mean, I know all that work. It's not like I'm outside fucking laying bricks or something. But at the end of the day or whatever, at the end of the week, with you spending your time and effort to do this, and you look at like maybe your TCG player payout for the entire week, and you're like, man, I only made like $600 this week off a TCG player, just throwing numbers out there. But like, I only made $600, and it was after I did my normal job or whatever, it was probably another 30, 35 hours in total that week to just get that. And on top of something else, that's a lot to put on top of like a normal 40-hour a week job. Now, if you're just for some reason living the life of Riley and you are a trust fund baby or something, like, I mean, that's nothing. I get that, you know. But for a lot of people, quitting a 9 to 5, I mean, not quitting, but like getting off of their 9 to 5, switching over to something like this, spending the other, 4 to 6 hours that you might have that day to buy cards, to then sort cards, to then price them out, to then, price them and list them, to keep your inventory updated, to pick your orders, pack your orders, ship your orders, all that good stuff. It becomes a lot and it becomes too much. And it's 100% understandable. It's just kind of, it's been really weird and a little surreal for the past like 2 or 3 years to see how many people have just thrown their hat into the game, like Rudy likes to say, that a lot of people won't even be here in a year, and it's the truth. They'll figure it out, they'll know that it's just not for them, or it's not the quick, easy tendies they thought it would be, because they don't have the money or the resources to throw behind it to make it to where it's kind of easy tendies, But everyone ignores the slog that it really actually is. It's mind-numbing, it's sometimes soul-crushing, like, it's almost, well, it can be almost as bad as like plant work, because you come in and you do the same fucking thing every day. Like, the cards might change, some people might change, the conversations might change, etc., but you're still doing the same damn thing every day. And for some reason, this has a weird, special, like, mental toll on things, on yourself, like, especially for, I don't know, people like me or whatever. I'm an introvert, all that good stuff. I don't like people. Like I said in my comment on Frank's thing, sometimes that ends up being where, like, after I have talked to distros, done some trades, listed some cards, sorted some shit, busted open some stuff to sort maybe, looked online, looked at distro websites to make sure I'm not missing anything, just generally talking to people, doing some transactions or whatever. Like, at some points in the week, my social battery just goes to zero, and like, I just can't people anymore. But it's just draining in a way that people don't normally anticipate. And I think that's pretty important for everyone to actually look at before they just jump into doing this, It's cool. As much as this sounds like I'm bitching, I'm not. Like, I enjoy the mind-numbing aspect of this, because I enjoy the whole collectible thing. I don't play anymore. I'm retired. I can't tell you anything about... Beard's weird there. I can't tell you anything about, like, the meta for anything at all. I really can't. And that's okay. But I enjoy just being in the cardboard world in the particular capacity that I am now. But yeah, long story short, it's a slog, and it's a mentally draining thing that not a lot of people are willing to put up with, or once they figure it out, there you go. Once they figure it out, they're not really willing to put up with it. And to each their own, that's fine. But, like, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of small little things that I have, like, missed just pointing out here, because they're all just here in my noggin, and it's just second nature at this point, Like, the fees was just something. The other thing is talking to people and wheeling and dealing with prices and all that good stuff on like trying to do trade-ins or buying collections or just general customer interactions with like, oh hey, what do you think about these sleeves, or what about this binder, or these dice are pretty, stupid stuff like that. um, and then you've got just like with any retail or customer facing thing, even if you're just buying stuff off of Facebook Marketplace or whatever, you've got dickholes that you deal with as well who think that like they have the best stuff ever, everything is pristine, PSA 10, and like they just have their heads up their asses, and you're just like, yeah, dude, whatever, like you got to deal with that too. Um, just a whole litany of stupid stuff, man. And a lot of times, like I said, people just can't deal with that on top of anything else. And it's perfectly understandable. Because, with this, I run this, wife, 3 kids, all that good stuff. It's a lot. Um, but yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get off of here now. I think I've rambled enough. You guys have a good one. I'll talk at you later. Remember, life is not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard. You're a trash can, not a trash can't. And enjoy yourselves. Have a good rest of the week. Maybe you'll hear from me some other time. But until then, just be good, be safe. Take it easy.